Hello, it's John S. Sports Channel, and we're going to go back. We're halfway, so we're going to go back to the predictions videos. One for halfway through the season. I thought it was a good idea. We're going with the AI predictions. Now, obviously, the AI predictions tend to go more for the recent snapshot of each team, seeing how well they've improved, how much they've worsened, and they try and predict over the remaining half of the season how well that will put them points wise. So we're going to have a look, and we're going to put our own little turn on it as well, because there were a few people saying that I'd totally got it wrong and AI got it wrong as well. So I will put my own little twist on it this time, because if you're going to tell me I've got it wrong, I might as well put my own twist in it. So we're going to start with 24th position, and in 24th position we have Burton Albion. Burton Albion are 24th, won 2, drawn 8 and lost 14. They did show that they were starting to just be able to improve a little bit, and they seem to be following Cambridge in that little turn of abilities and that little bit of improvement. But I don't think they've made a huge amount of improvement. I think that 24th, possibly. I don't know if they'll finish bottom, to be quite honest. I think there's possibly one, maybe two sides that they could beat. I don't think that they can get out of the bottom, the bottom 4. But yeah, I think that 24th, a little bit of a downer really for me. I think that they're probably a little higher than that. But AI has Burton Albion in 24th. In 23rd, with the AI system, has Shrewsbury Town. Now, I think Shrewsbury Town are the one side that really hasn't improved to me. They showed a bit of improvement when they changed manager, and it was an improvement. It really was. They played really quite decent football, especially for where they were in the league. We've got to think about that when we start saying how well they're playing. We're not saying that they're playing as well as Birmingham, but for where they were, they certainly did improve, and he got an improvement. In fact, they beat Birmingham, didn't they? So, yeah, they got an improvement straight away, and it worked really well. However, I don't believe that they have improved enough to get out of the bottom 4. Currently, they lie in 22nd place with 4 wins, 5 draws and 15 defeats. So I think that's probably about where they will finish. 24th, 23rd. I'm sorry, Shrewsbury fans, I just can't see it at the moment without any changes getting anywhere above that. So moving up to 22nd, now we have Crawley Town. Now this is a really difficult one to predict. AI's put them in 22nd. They're currently in 21st with 5 wins, 5 draws and 13 defeats. And I must admit, of the bottom 4 at the minute, or even the bottom 5, they're quite similar on the goal difference. Crawley Town have been very, very up and down within games. If I look at Cambridge's improvement, and think, well, that's impressive. Over the full 90 minutes, they have been playing really well and improving. Crawley Town have, I'm afraid, been improving for 25, 35, even 45 minutes in a game. But they found that when they've not been playing well within that game, the opposition have been really well on top and absolutely destroying them. So it's been a little bit of a false improvement to me. That yes, they have improved and have vastly improved for short periods within games. If they can improve that for the whole 90 minutes, I'd be saying it for weeks, they can get out of the bottom 4. Absolutely. At the minute they're in 22nd, and they're 5 points behind Bristol Rovers in 20th. That gap's getting a little bit too big, and we're halfway through, and it's is it too late? No, absolutely not. You know, they could improve, and this is the one team in the bottom 4 at the minute which I think certainly could improve and get out of the bottom four. They have the ability. We know they have. They are still playing well, really well, in parts of each 90 minutes. Do it for the whole 90 minutes, and I think that they will be out of the bottom four. But at the minute, playing as they are, I would probably agree with this. 22nd place, Crawley Town. In 21st, we have, and the last place to go down, we have Bristol Rovers. And I can see why AI has put Bristol Rovers in 21st. They can play some really good football, and they have played some really good football, but they're very hit and miss to me. They sometimes turn up, sometimes don't turn up, much like their Bristol City counterparts in the Championship. They seem to have this city thing, a citywide thing of either turning up or they turn up against the really good sides and they get a really good score against them or a good result. And then against the poorer sides where you would expect them to do well, the week after, they don't turn up. It's really annoying as a fan to have a team like that, and I do feel sorry for them. I hope that they can get it turned around. If they can make it more consistent throughout the year, throughout the rest of the season, they too could get out of this quite easily, very easily. At the minute they're in 20th. They're 5 points above Crawley in 21st in 20th position with 25 points. Yeah, there's no reason why they can't keep that and maintain that distance all the way through the rest of the season. But there's teams below them that are starting to improve, like the Crawley, like Cambridge, and you can't help but think that there's something in here that's just needs tweaking. I don't even think they need to. They could sort of drop their performance levels and not play as well, but make it more level playing field all the way through the next half of the season. And I still think they would, get a better points total at the end. I just want to see a little bit more consistency with Bristol Rovers. Not quite seeing it at the minute. So in 21st position, we have Bristol Rovers. And in 20th, and I don't think it's too much of a shock, we have Cambridge United. Now, Cambridge United, got to remember, win 4, drawn 5, lost 15. They've shown that they can play really well. 2 wins in a row. So 2 of those 4 wins were indeed consecutive. They can play excellent football, and they have played excellent football. But they've also played shocking at the beginning. I remember having a few comments on one of my videos with a Cambridge fan after Rotherham won them their first away win in 2 years. And you think, but honestly, we were both thinking our sides were absolutely awful, and we were. Neither of them deserved to get any points, like 0 points each. And that's how Cambridge started the season, playing absolutely dreadful. But they haven't been playing badly. They've been playing really good, and they've been proving that they can beat anybody in that league on the day if things turn out properly and if they get the run of the green. They just haven't had the run of the green, have they? And Cambridge, 20th position. I think going into this second half, I have thought that this is make or break. They've been stuttering of late, and I've been thinking, can they actually do it now? I still think they can, but there's a chance that improvement was just a blip, and it may just die off, and they may stay where they are in 23rd and sort of fight it out between the bottom side. But I hope for the fans' sake that they do improve, because they have improved. Can they just maintain that improvement? I hope so for the fans' sake. In 20th position, we have Cambridge United. So with some movement below this next team in 19th, I see quite a lot of flexibility with where this team's going to finish. In 19th, they've got Northampton Town. Now, Northampton are in 18th, 26 points, 6 wins, 8 draws, 11 defeats. Yeah, they're on 26. Crawley are on 20. They're 6 points ahead halfway through the season. Surely they're not going to drop that, are they? But they've been playing pretty consistent football, just not very good football. This is where I would like to see Cambridge, because Cambridge have the ability of doing this consistent football, certainly around the same sort of skill levels, if not slightly higher than Northampton. They just aren't able to do it consistently at the minute. And this is why I think Northampton are really just keeping the head above the water here, because there are at least a couple of sides below them that are actually improving and have all the ability to improve over the next half season. And this does mean that, unfortunately, the only way they can go, I think, is down from their 18th position, 19th possibly. I think they could even get into that relegation 21st slot. So in 19th position, we have Northampton Town. So in 18th, we have a shock for me. I don't think I've really thought about putting this team in 18th position. In 18th position, we have Stevenage. Now, Stevenage are, if we just have a quick look, 14th position, 31 points. They're also only on 23 games at the minute. So surely they should be at least able to stay where they are. I think they could stay where they are. I think that it's going to be touch and go. They have shown signs of perhaps having a bit of a blip and being found out a little bit on how to play them. And I think some teams are certainly now thinking, yeah, we could beat Stevenage, and if we play in a certain way. So yeah, I'm seeing changes at Stevenage, and they're not improving. And I think again, there's so many teams just below them that could improve. Probably, like looking at the league, at least 2 or 3 that could improve and go above them. To me, I think that puts them in sort of 16th, 17th slot rather than 18th. So, but AI has them a little bit lower than me in 18th slot. Stevenage Borough, 18th. In 17th, and not moving, is the present 17th position, Wigan Athletic. I can see why they're in 17th. I think they may improve because they have the ability to. And I've always thought they should be 1 or 2 places higher than this, possibly just hanging on in below that sort of 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th slot where you're thinking, we could if we had a run, we could just about nick that last 6th slot right at the death. But they're just below that. They're in 17th position, 23 games, 27 points. Now, if they win their game in hand, they're equal with Blackpool in 16th on 30, and 10th position Bolton are only on 37. So it's not impossible then, and you're starting to get the fans thinking, we could do it if we improve just a little bit. Anybody can beat anybody in this division, can't they? Especially below that top 4. And unfortunately, Wigan Athletic 17th, I would probably agree with that. I think slightly higher possibly if they can just improve a little bit, and I think they can. They have the ability. It's one of those positions where the teams above them I can see doing well, and the teams below them I can see, even the ones that are doing well and improving, I don't think they're really improving that much. Can they catch them? 1 or 2 can, absolutely. But then there's probably 1 or 2 above that that may start to struggle as well. So I think Wigan Athletic, 17th. Yeah, I would probably agree with that. Slightly higher, but we'll stay with that one. Wigan Athletic, 17th. In 16th, and just improving just a little bit, is Peterborough. Now, Peterborough are on 19th, and they've not been getting the results that that team really should be doing. They did so well at the beginning, and that's where I'm going back to. I'm thinking at the beginning they did really well, and I thought that, yeah, this new style of play was working for them. But then all of a sudden it seemed to just not quite. I don't know, something happened that didn't quite link, and it just seemed to fall away. Please do, if you're a Peterborough fan, please do give me your comments on why is it that they did so well at the beginning, and they played really good football. I really enjoyed watching it, and now I still enjoy watching it, but they're just not getting the results. Peterborough 19th at the minute. They're saying 16th. I would probably agree with that. I think they will go up that league. How much will depend on how the others improve around them, and I think the others around them will be improving at the same time. And it's one of those cases where if everybody improves in the league, everybody stays where they are. And that part of the table is sort of this part around 15th, 16th is really very, very much like that. Teams that are looking to improve, all of them at the same time. So I'd probably agree with this one. Perhaps one or two places higher again, but in 16th position, Peterborough United. In 15th, we have another non-mover, and this really, I do agree with this one. This is one of those teams right in the middle of the league that I don't see really improving or really dropping away. So in 15th, we have Exeter City. That minutes win 7, draw 6, lose 10 on 27 points. They're 3 points behind Blackpool in 17th position. I still think there's a couple of teams for them to get ahead of, and they do play some really good football on occasions. Can they make this a more evened out improvement all the way across every game? Sometimes they play well, sometimes they play pretty good. So let's see how it goes for Exeter fans. Do comment down below. Exeter City, 15th place. Now the next team is certainly one I certainly don't agree with. They've got this next team winning 1 point per game for the rest of the season. It ain't going to happen. In 14th, they've got Leyton Orient. This was done, I believe, at the beginning, it's right in the middle of December. This particular AI one is the latest one I could get, and I do think that Leyton Orient will be. They're in 8th at the minute on 37 points. They do look like they will be getting somewhere around 5th, 6th, 7th. I do believe they're going to be pushing, if not in those top 6 positions. So don't agree with this one. Absolutely not. We've got 14th Leyton Orient. Not a hope in hell. And we'll move quickly on to the next one and see who they have in the next position. So in 13th, they have another improver, and it's Blackpool. Blackpool in 13th. Now, this is an interesting one, isn't it? Because at the minute, they're 16th, 24 games, 7 won, 9 draws, and 8 defeats. They're beginning to get a few known as a bit of a draw team, aren't they? And on 30 points, can they make those draws into wins? And that's the important thing, isn't it? If you start improving a little tiny bit and just making those draws into the occasional win, you're getting an extra 2 points every game. And that is the difference. A difference between losing and getting to that extra point is not half as many points. So I can see Blackpool being able, especially with their manager. I mean, he's not going to give in, is he? He's a damn good manager. Can't see him doing badly, certainly not. Can I see him improving Blackpool? Absolutely. In the short term, perhaps not as much, but I think as time goes on, he's one of those managers that can develop and improve the players, and I think over January we may see 1 or 2 improvements there, pushing people along and improving them. And I think 13th is probably a good position. Not too far away from that. I think plus or minus 1 is about right. So in 13th we have Blackpool. Now we're going into 12th, and we have another one where I really don't agree with. In 12th they have Mansfield Town. And my friend Roy, who's a Mansfield fan, who's one of my subscribers, he'll be looking at me in dismay and thinking, how's he saying it? Well, this is AI's prediction. This is not mine. I think Mansfield, 9th position at the minute, 23 games, 11 wins, 4 draws, 8 defeats, 37 points. 4 draws is where I'm looking here, and they really don't seem to they don't seem to draw games. They either throw it away and lose it, and just have been playing pretty brilliantly perfect football, really pretty football, as me and Roy keep discussing, and not getting any points. Or they play really well and it's really joined up, and they really do seem to be on fire. It's of course my team to watch, so I've got to be good about Mansfield, haven't I? And I think that, in 10th in 9th at the minute, they're going to be somewhere around that 6th to 10th place. 12th position, I think that's slightly low for Mansfield, but AI has them 12th, Mansfield Town. In 11th, and improving just a little bit, is a team I can see being in 10th or 11th actually, and it's my own team, Rotherham United. Now Rotherham are in 13th position, 8 wins, 7 draws, 9 defeats. Pretty been playing pretty poorly, to be quite honest. I don't think a lot of the fans have seen the undefeated run sort of just nibbling away now, and we're not getting bad results. But we just don't seem to be clicking up front, and we really haven't got a really good striker like Mansfield have. Would I see us finishing above Mansfield? I can't see it, but I can see us finishing in sort of 10th or 11th. I don't think this is far off. I would probably say this is a smidgen lower than what I would think. Points wise, they've got 62 points. We've got 31 at the minute. I'll probably put us a 4 or 5, 6 points above that. So probably a little bit higher than 11th, but yeah, not very far above that. So in 11th position, we have in the AI system Rotherham United. In 10th, we have, just going at one place, we have Charlton Athletic. Now, Charlton win 9, drawn 7, and lost 7. And a lot of these draws, they really should have had wins from. And 34 points, they're absolutely better than 11th place. 10th, they should be higher than this. They have a really good technical squad, and I really don't see why they're in 10th place or 11th place at the minute. They should be up in that top 6. Absolutely. Can they get there? I think they can get there. Anybody can beat anybody in this league. All they need is that mental attitude to make sure that they win games instead of drawing them, or draw them instead of losing them. And I think 11th to 10th, yeah, I think though that are there any teams above them? That's the critical thing. Are there any teams above them that could start to go on a slide? And there's probably 1 or 2 that could go on a slide. So yeah, I would see 10th being a reasonable point when you think that they've got to then overcome and pass at least 1 or 2 of the teams above them. So AI has Charlton Athletic in 10th. In 9th, and again just improving 1 place, it's Bolton Wanderers. Now, Bolton Wanderers last time outplayed my team, Rotherham United, and they lost 3-1. It could have easily been 4-5, 6-1. Realistically, shouting for their boss's dismissal. I can see a management change here. He really did stick to his guns. But even if you like him or not, like his style or not, his words after the Rotherham game of it's all the players' fault really must rile fans, because it certainly made the Rotherham fans laugh their socks off. This was a ridiculous comment. And I've quite often when a manager starts laying all the blame on the players, they just down tools and don't play for him, and they end up getting the sack. I can see that happening. So over the next couple of games, it'll be interesting to see how the players react, how the fans react, and much more how the owners react. Let's see if Bolton Wanderers keep their manager. I hope they do. We could really do with another 3 points from them in March. But joking aside, for the fans' sake, I think they really do need a change of direction here to make any big improvement. They are at the minute in they are at the minute in 10th position. Bolton Wanderers, 37 points, equal 9th. Can we see them getting? It says here 66 points. That's a few less than what they are now. 24 games and 37 points. I can see this being about right. I don't think there'll be any major slip, and if they change managers, I can't see them being too much better. I can see a little bit of improvement, possibly 1 or 2 more places than this if they change manager and it works. So in 9th we have Bolton Wanderers. Now this is where AI starts to get a little bit controversial, but I can see why they've got it. We've got Barnsley in 8th position. Now, they also say it's going to be about 66, 67 points. Now, that would mean that they're only going to get, and they've won 25 games in the remainder of the season, the other 21 games, they're estimating they're going to get 25 points. I can't see it being that low, but they have been doing pretty poorly of late, and they've been losing points on a pretty regular basis. Will they consistently do that over the rest of the season? Can't really see it. They're in 5th at the minute. Will they drop to 8th? Can't really see them dropping to 8th. But, stranger things have happened. Barnsley do tend to do insane things within games and just lose it, and their games the games that they've been losing points in quite often, I've been thinking, well, they shouldn't be losing games to teams in that position of the league, but they are, and you think, yeah, this is where we say any team can beat any team in this division, and we have in 8th position probably a good couple of places lower. I think that they should be thinking of getting a top 6 position, certainly. However, in 8th position, we have Barnsley. So in 7th position, interestingly enough, we have a team that actually I think won't do this well. This is one of the teams that is at the minute in 12th position. It's Lincoln City. Now, Lincoln have been playing some alright football. Certainly against Rotherham, they played pretty average. I've been listening to the Lincoln City fans, especially after Rotherham beat them, and I just don't. I can't see where they're coming from. Unfortunately, I just see the snapshot of what I see on a Saturday with the watch along, and I don't, and the Rotherham games, and I don't see a team that is able to put. I mean, where are they now? In 12th position. Can they overcome Charlton and get above them? I don't think so. Can they get above Bolton in 10th? No, not if they change manager. Mansfield in 9th, no, I can't see them getting above Mansfield. And you start seeing how I can't see them getting too far above 11th, 12th. In fact, I think 10th, 11th, 12th is probably where Lincoln City will finish. We have, though, with AI, Lincoln City in 7th position. In 6th, and another team not moving, is Reading. And I actually think that Reading have done exceptional with what's been going on off-field. And this team has been proven to be able to do some amazing things and forget what's going on off-field. And for that, the fans, well, they've deserved it after last year, haven't they? Absolutely. I think Reading at the minute in sixth place, 12 wins, 5 draws, 7 defeats, 41 points. You know, and they still think they're going to do pretty good score-wise. 77, 78 points is where they expect them to get to with the AI. You know, I just think that there's too many teams around them that can do better, that should be doing better, like the Charlton. And you think, you know, there's so many teams going to be really forcing their way into the transfer market to try and make sure they just improve that little bit. And they're all the teams directly below Reading. Can I see Reading staying in 6th like AI can? I don't think so. I think Reading are going to be slightly below, but not because they're going to play worse, but because the other teams are just going to improve a little bit more than what Reading do, and they're going to sort of go up and pass them as we go through the next half of the season. So we have in 6th place Reading. In 5th and just improving, we have, surprising enough to me, it is Stockport. Now, Stockport County at the minute are in 7th, win 10, drawn 8, which is a lot of draws, and lost 7, 38 points. And I just think that Stockport, will they make those draws into wins? Will those draws turn into defeats? You know, at some point, one of these draw-heavy teams is not, and they're not that draw-heavy, let's face it, but one of these teams that I've seen drawing ones that they shouldn't be drawing, which Stockport have, I think will start to lose one or two of them. And I think, if any, it's going to be Stockport. I can't see them. They're a good side, let's face it. They played better than Rotherham when we played them last time, but, you know, how many teams can't do that? And it's difficult. I think that 7th position is one of those things that I can't see them staying in 7th. Absolutely not. They'll either turn these one or two of these draws into wins, and they'll just start to nibble up into 5th like this AI prediction says, or they'll not draw as many, and they'll lose a couple more. And they'll probably be in 8th or 9th position. So I'm going to say 5th to 9th is quite a big range here. I can't see Stockport doing same all the way through the season, especially with the other teams biting at their heels and the ones above them probably showing a little bit of a bit of a downward trend, one or two of them. Because directly above them at the minute, Stockport in 7th, we have Reading in 6th and Barnsley in 5th, and there's a couple that I might sort of upset a few people with in a minute. They also might get a little bit poorer. So in 5th we have Stockport County. In 4th, I've got a team which I think will spend their way into probably staying somewhere around 3rd or 4th. And it's Wrexham. I think that Wrexham will be in the top 6. I don't know. They may get to 2nd. Somewhere between 2nd, 3rd, or 4th. But I think it's going to be about 3rd or 4th. And what else can we say? I think that they're certainly on for that. Probably just under just high 90s, mid 90 points, I think. And I think Wrexham in 4th by the AS is not far off. So in 4th we have in 3rd, and just missing out on an automatic slot, which I think will be wrong. I think this team are going to finish 2nd, is Huddersfield Town. Now Huddersfield are at the minute in 4th with 24 games, 47 points. They're 4 points behind Wrexham, but have a game in hand. They're 4 points behind Wycombe, but have a game in hand. So which one am I saying is going to have a little bit of a poorer time? Well, it's obvious now, isn't it? We've got Huddersfield Town in third. I think they're going to finish second. I think it's almost one of those foreseen events, unfortunately. With the way the transfers have gone so far, I would have to say I think this is one place lower than they will finish. Huddersfield Town in third position. So, in second, we have, obviously, Wycombe Wanderers, Wycombe Wanderers. Now, obviously, it's looking at how have they performed, which is bloody brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely amazing. Wasn't one of my top 6 sides, I don't think, in my initial predictions. And they obliterated a lot of people's predictions. They have been playing well. They've been found out a few times, and that's what worries me, combined with the fact that they've had so many players on loan have to go back. Will they replace them with equally good loan players? Or will they be able to convince them to be loaned back to them? Possibly they will get as good a team because of their position. However, I don't think they will. And even if they do, they've got to re-gel this new team. And re-gelling a team who's in second position is not easy. If the manager does it, he's doing a damn good job. At the minute, they're in second. Wycombe Wanderers are in second. It says they're going to stay second. He's actually saying 101 points, which is literally just a little bit less in the second half than the first. So maybe it's about right points-wise. Wycombe Wanderers, it's got in second position. Now, obviously, that leaves only one team in first. Let's just see where it says points-wise. We've got Birmingham City, obviously, in first. And yeah, I totally agree with them. I think Birmingham City will be points ahead of everyone else. At the minute, they're halfway, 23 games, 53 points. Will they reach 106? Now, Birmingham, it says, will not. It says 103. And I saw some people saying they were going to get, before the season started, a few Birmingham people, at least one or two on my channels, said Birmingham are going to get 130 odd points and be 55 points ahead of everybody else at the end of the season. Obviously not going to happen. Teams have found out how to play them and how to get that early goal and just stop them from playing their pretty football and top championship style football. Just basically League One dirty football in your face, and they don't seem to be able to play against that. Because pretty championship football, low end Premier League even, just find it a little bit tough playing against this style of tough football. I can see it being a little bit of an issue during the second half of the season. They've had a little bit of a rough patch where where most of their 5 draws came from. How can you say 5 draws is a rough patch? But yeah, they've had a little bit of a rough patch where they drew a couple. Wow. I think they're obviously going to win the league. It's just a case of by how many. So in first position, I definitely agree with this one. It's Birmingham City. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully it was a little bit of fun. Hopefully, if you don't like what I've said, please don't just go and dislike it, because I really need as many likes as I can get. Please do like and subscribe. If you don't like it, comment down below, and I'll tell you. We'll have a bit of a chat about it. I don't mind doing that at all. Or come on one of my lives during the weekend for my watch-alongs. It's John S. Sports Channel. Over and out. Like and subscribe.